The day has finally come. We are moving up to the premier class of MotoGP, and we are choosing the Repsol Honda. Myself and Marco Bezzecchi will be taking the Repsol Honda back to the top step of the podium in MotoGP. So there you are then, ladies and gentlemen. The decision has been made. I have joined the Repsol Honda team. A interesting move with the teams I was given as options. I wanted to choose the, well, factory seat, but also the fact that it's not a great bike in particular. So together, we're going to do the test and we're going to decide now whether this was a good choice or if it wasn't. Couple of things I'm looking for here today in this test. One of them, I don't want to be at the top. I don't want to have dominated this session by the end of this video. I want the Premier class to be the toughest class yet. Moto 3, we dominated. Moto 2, we dominated. I don't want to dominate MotoGP on the hardest difficulty in the game. And there is the GOAT, the Japanese legend, Taka Nakagami. I will be following him around the circuit of Qatar for the next couple of laps, but I am incredibly excited to get this one underway with. So guys, if you're enjoying this already or you're looking forward to it, let me know in the comment section down below and be sure to subscribe. I'll get into details with which bike is which after the end of this run of laps. I can compare the Spec A bike and the Spec B bike, and then we can have a little look. But one thing to note, left-hand side of your screen, riders have changed seats. Myself on the Honda with Marco Bezzecchi, of course that's a big surprise already. Taka has obviously stayed where he is at the LCR Idemitsu Honda team. Bagnaia remains at the factory Ducati. Enea Bastianini on board the Trackhouse Aprilia. So if I'd gone for the Trackhouse team, I possibly could have teamed up with La Bestia, the Beast. And that's a pretty cool concept, if I do say so myself. Down the order we got fourth Jorge Martin staying put at the Prima Pramac Ducati team. And then behind him, in fifth, is Maverick Vinales on board the Prima Pramac Ducati, which I think is an excellent decision. And that's Vinales to now another manufacturer. Fabio Di Gianantonio gets the promotion up to the factory Ducati seat after Enea Bastianini moved on. And of course we do have Ayagora, a rider we didn't see in Moto 2 in my career mode because he'd already moved up to the Premier class, and he's with the Pertamina Enduro VR46 Ducati team. There has been some more changes. Aprilia team have completely changed. I don't know whether I should spoil that now or wait for you to see them on circuit. I guess it kind of makes sense for me to tell you this now. The factory Aprilia team, the team from Nawale, will have Pedro Acosta and Joan Mir as Taka Nakagami just tried to go around the outside of me there into turn 1. Taka got no love for the new rookie, it seems. So yeah, that's the factory Aprilia team. I think that one's absolutely amazing. Pedro Acosta, Joan Mir, two amazing world champions in their own right. Of course, Moto 3 and Moto 2 championship from Pedro Acosta, and a double MotoGP, well, a MotoGP and a Moto 3 championship for Joan Mir. So that's already 4 championships in that team. Pretty good signing, if I do say so myself. Now, the interesting one here is the decision I went with was because I'd seen that Luca Marini or Marco Bezzecchi was in the Honda team last season. I wanted the Honda regardless, but Luca Marini was going to be my teammate. However, I joined the factory Honda team, and it seems that Marco Bezzecchi's joined me, and Luca Marini, in probably the biggest shock, has gone over to the Red Bull KTM team, which I think is really cool. It's awesome for Luca Marini, and it's great for KTM, but what I don't understand is that in the previous season, Augusto Fernandez won the championship with Jack Miller on the Gas in second, but Augusto Fernandez was on the Red Bull KTM, so they've moved him back to the Gas team after winning the World Championship with a team with Jack Miller. So the both of them are on the Gas. Very peculiar. You might have just seen briefly there a moment ago is that Aleix Espargaro has also gone over now to the VR46 Ducati team. For the first time ever, a Rossi team. Ooh, right device a little bit too early there. And the first time ever, a Italian no more in the VR46 Ducati team. That's never happened, so that's rather bizarre. The Marquez brothers stayed put in the Gresini Ducati. Yamaha stayed the same as well with Rins and Quartararo. And I think that's more or less it. I'm sure as we go through we'll see any more changes, but I think this is going to be an excellent season. I'm very much excited for it. And already, my best lap time is 2 seconds down on Bagnaia. That is a fast lap time, I'll tell you. In MotoGP 23 I could do 49s, but I don't think I'm going to do it with the Repsol Honda at this stage. No, I don't think I could. I probably need to upgrade the bike before I even get close to that sort of level. But let's digress anyway about the riders for now, because let's talk business. Let's talk Repsol Honda. As I've mentioned numerous times now, I don't want to be dominating. I want this to be a challenge. Career mode, unfortunately, can get a bit stale sometimes when you're not pushed. I love a challenge. I like to be pushed to the limits, and I want that here today. And seeing myself down by 2 seconds, surprisingly, makes me feel good. It gives me the hope that we're going to spend this season developing, learning, and improving. I really hope that this is going to be this way. Now, I don't think it's going to be too ridiculous. MotoGP 23, when we were on board the gas, that was also on maximum difficulty, and that felt a little bit too difficult. So I'm hoping for a good balance here in this one. Now, of course, I'm going to try and do videos as quickly as I can, because I know you guys are eager for the career mode now. So I am equally as eager as well, so bear with me while I try and produce as many videos as I can in this MotoGP Premier Class career mode. Across the line, it's going to be another 51.9, but that is 2 seconds off the pace of Bagnaia. Whew. Am I really that slow? Or is it just that the bike is criminally underpowered? I guess we'll find out after. I think I'll finish this lap, and then we'll head back into the pits, and we'll take a look to see what the fuss is all about for either bike A or bike B, because you do get 2 specs here in the Premier Class for the winter testing, and we got to decide which one works best for us. Doesn't matter what Zeki says or thinks, we're going to choose which package works best for us. Once we get to the Honda leadership role, then we can influence the Japanese manufacturers. I mean, in theory we can, and thank goodness it's a computer game, because in real life you can't encourage the Japanese manufacturers. They will not listen to the riders, so I guess the beauty of it being in a virtual world. So into the left-hander for turn 10. One thing I'm curious to know is, how is the performance going to be? Is it going to be Bagnaia and Martin dominating the show? Is it going to be Marquez? Is he going to now have a bit more power and speed, being in the 3rd or 4th season of Ducati in this game? So I am really curious to see how it goes. I'm curious to see what Ayagura's performance is like as well. I can't remember where he was in the championship standings. I just remember the top 2. I know Marco Bezzecchi did all... Oh, I've just binned it! Well, there's a first time for everything, and unfortunately we've just experienced our first Premier Class crash. With us being on the Honda, I would probably say I'm going to have to get used to that, but I digress for now. These are our 2 bikes available for this winter test. And you can see Spec A has more stability with a little bit of aerodynamic load. That's the bike we've been using so far, the bike that they've been using throughout the season, or last season, and this is Spec B. Ooh. It's not particularly much better, is it really? It's just got more aerodynamic penetration rather than the stability. So what we're going to do is we're going to try both bikes. I've already tried Spec A, so now let's try Spec B and gauge to see how well that's going to go. Let's try it out. So back on track then, Spec B it is now. Bike is probably going to feel a little bit different, but to be honest, they don't usually feel significantly different compared to each. And I have a habit of trying to ride through the problems rather than trying to fix them. So we'll see how this one goes, do a couple of laps, try and do maybe 3 or 4, and then we can gauge it with Spec A. Initial responses, I don't think it's going to matter which one, because they're both so low down on the order that I don't think it's really going to matter. I think we're going to struggle with both, and I think I welcome that change, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, we'll keep at it, and we'll see what we can figure out. And initially I will say that the bike doesn't feel particularly different from just a few corners ago, and there's a bike not too far behind me. You can see him actually on the map there in the bottom left hand corner of your screen as we go into turn 4, and I don't know if it's just me, but the audio sounds particularly weird It's like, I don't know, there's like a weird echo to it. I'll tell you what, listen to it and tell me what you think. I don't know if you were able to hear that then, but there's a sort of like echoing to it. It's almost like a bee or a wasp is buzzing in the exhaust. See if you can hear it. That sounds absolutely bloody awful. What is that noise? I had the same thing in the Ace Academy Championship a few weeks ago as well. I think it was in Mazzano. Yeah, that sounds rotten. It honestly sounds like a bee is flying in the exhaust. Like a sort of thing. Can you hear it? Oh, that's so annoying. I'll tell you what, I'll just keep on talking, then we'll ignore that noise, because that is really awful. There must be a recent glitch or something. Oh, it's so loud in my headphones. I have to reduce the volume here. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I got awfully distracted with the sound of the KTM. Thank goodness he's gone into the pits. Well, even with that distraction, Spec B's going all right. So, Spec B, so far, it doesn't feel too different to Spec A, to be honest. If anything, I find them actually getting a little bit more wheelie. And I struggled a bit there to try and get the bike stopped. And here on the change of direction, not too bad that time. We get onto the power. I tell you, this is going to be quite the change. The only time I've really done the MotoGP classes of recent is doing the challenge videos with Marc Marquez. But even then, I've not played all that much. I did try the Repsol Honda in Assen a few weeks ago with some of the aces to practice the Ace Academy Championship. And I had a good time. I had around, I can't remember what lap time it was, but it was a 38 one, 39 one. Can't remember. It was a good lap time if I remember right. It was about a second off from our eventual race winner, Sacred Meerkat. At least a winner of the sprint, I think. Was it Jake who won the race? Can't remember now. But yeah, it was a decent pace, and I used the Honda, and I really like the Honda in this game. It does feel really good, especially on the front end. The brakes are strong. Now I will probably try. Ooh, Banya's gone. Where is he crashed? I don't know how it works in winter testing. I know in real life it would still invalidate the lap time, but in the game, I don't think it does. There's Luca Marini on board the Red Bull KTM, up to 18th. Marco Bezzecchi having a bad winter test so far. This does not bode well for our Hondas, does it? Bezzecchi 22nd, Nakagami 21st, myself in 20th, but hopefully we're going to improve now. That's Fabio Di Gianantonio on the factory Ducati. We've just gone ahead of him. That's not a great result from Fabio so far. I'm sure that'll change. So, you might be wondering, we have only got 22 riders in this MotoGP field. That means that 2 riders have gone because myself and Iagora have replaced 2 riders. Now, I regret to inform that Frankie Morbidelli has been given the elbow. We won't be seeing Morbidelli in my MotoGP career mode. And I do believe the other rider is possibly Raul Fernandez. I don't recall seeing his name anywhere. It's either him or Miguel Oliveira, but I think Oliveira's still on board the Trackhouse Aprilia. I would certainly hope so. It would be a damn shame to lose all 3 of those riders, to be honest. But at this moment in time, I definitely believe it's one of the Trackhouse Aprilias. Oh, bad lap time coming here, 1:50:57. Oh, I've just dropped the front again. I had to speak. Well, that didn't work out too well, and I'm back down to 19th. And now I've got Luca Marini ahead of me, and it is his Red Bull KTM that is sounding awful. Yeah, the sound has definitely glitched out on that bike. That's incredibly annoying. And there is Maro. So we get onto the power. Must try and bring on the ride height device a little bit later in that corner. I'm actually bringing it on too prematurely, and what you're seeing is the rear tyre start sliding. And it's costing me a lot of time as we go onto the brakes. I'm going to have to go around the outside here. There is Marini on board the factory KTM. Interesting choice, to say the least. I actually like the choice. I think Luca Marini is a great rider. I think all of the Honda riders are great. It's just that they've got a Honda. and there's not much they can do about it. Same as the Yamahas at the moment. I mean, it's not like Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins are terrible riders. They just can't do any more than what they've done already with the bike from Iwata. Wonder how high Johan Zarco is ahead of me. Ride device on there. Might have been a bit too early. Yeah, this slide. Look at that, though. Managed to control the wheelie a little bit more this time. So Spec A is a little bit better at reducing that front end lift. Oh, but it's still up. But it pops up and down every other corner, doesn't it? The crazy thing is, I don't feel... Oh, who's that down there? Oh, it's Binder. He's been there, done that before. And now, unfortunately, he's down in turn 11. I will confess, I feel really... Oh, I got away with that. I didn't exceed track limits, no? I will confess, though, around the first part of the circuit, the Honda feels really good. Struggling a little bit here. And, of course, that crash earlier on into this corner, the penultimate corner here, has left me rattled a little bit. Oh, beautiful apex this time around. This will be an improvement. This could be a 150 lap time. Bit messy up on the exit, entry into 16. Power on, bit early for the ride height device, trying to avoid the wheelie. We will get close to the 150, we won't get it here. Across the line, it's a 151.102, 24,000th of a second behind Johan Zarco. Well, there's my target, ladies and gentlemen, to be ahead of Johan Zarco and finish as top Honda rider. 1.3 seconds behind Bagnaia. 149.7. Maverick Vinales, the winter testing champion, of course. Always does well in winter tests. A bit deep here. Tried to save it from exceeding the track limits. Back onto the power here. This is a bit of a tough corner as well, especially when you get in that wheelie mid-corner. Here is turn 6 on the left-hand side of the bike. Power on. Of course, getting used to the brand new Michelin tyres. Of course, if I haven't said so already, just a massive thank you to Sergio23 for the wonderful helmet design. Oh my lord, I'm off the circuit again. Still no invalidated lap time. But yeah, Sergio23 once again, another amazing helmet design. Fresh number design as well, completely different to what we've been running for in the sense of colours. A unique purple, sort of violet look. I really like it, and I think on the main bike, without the testing livery, it looks really good, so I'm happy, very, very satisfied with what Sergio23 has brought to the table once again. Of course, I've got a fresh logo now for my gaming channel, so if you're a fan of other games as well as just the motorbike games, then go ahead and check out my second channel. But for now, we are hard on the anchors into 16, and we're still not improving. Look at the bite, it's just desperate to wheelie. I think I might have to employ some quick shifts, you know. Start up shifting a little bit earlier, possibly. Maybe that will give me the speed, or at least to avoid the wheelie. But I know the last time I tried this, I actually found it was quicker to let the bike wheelie and fight it rather than upshifting to avoid the wheelie. I remember getting beaten when I was racing some Aces ages ago, with the other riders just allowing the bikes to wheelie, where I was trying to feather the throttle to avoid the front end lifting up. Nice apex there into turn 4. As I say, I do feel really good at this section. Sector 1 and Sector 2, I feel really good. That's invalidated. How are we getting away with that? That's a really nice apex into turn 6. That's worked out tremendously well. And again, a wheelie on the exit. Now I've stopped using the ride height device out there, though I actually find it's trying to avoid the wheelie a little bit more, which seems a bit counterintuitive. Hit the curb here, downshift a second into the right-hander. Ooh, I almost bended again, had to sit up momentarily. That's a really tight apex into turn 10, hard on the power, try and avoid running off the circuit. This should be another good lap time. Bike feels good. This could be my 50 lap time that I'm looking for. Don't even think about 149, but I'm desperately coveting that 150. This is looking alright, this. We only need a couple of thousand per second anyway to get this one done. Hard on the power. I actually wheelied more with the ride-out device. I thought that would fix it in that corner. Surely now. Oh my god, we lost 1/10 of a second already. Oh, I hit the ride-out device way too early there. Oh, that's messy. That is messy. Across the line. We will not improve. That's a damn shame, that. That is a damn shame. I felt really good. So lap 12 still has not yielded a 150 lap time. But I tell you what, I am enjoying this. This is new, this is fresh, this is fun. It's much different to just winning every single race in the back of the grid on Moto 2. I hope I don't have to start doing that again. I actually really enjoy doing the qualifying. But when you get so good into it, it just feels like bin it off and just keep battering him from the last place of the grid. Nice. That's a good braking spot there. I use a ride-out device. Let's not. I think that is key. I'm still wheeling a lot though. It's not clean. I don't feel clean riding around this Honda so far. I like it, but I could definitely do with improving my lines a little bit. Oh, I wheelied again going into that corner. Gotta fix that. Can't afford to keep wheeling before the corners, because when you go back onto the brakes, you unsettle the Honda, and that's when I start making those big like slides and big mistakes. I'm not a fan of all that sliding around and that. I much prefer to be in line and calm and collected. Can get aggressive. I can get a bit out of shape. But I prefer... Oh, look at that again! Well, that was a little bit disappointing. I can't believe that. I don't even know what happened. I think I wheelied, and as I hit the brakes, I just locked it on a side angle, which I've never seen happen before. Would have thought that would just result in a crash. And I am still 24,000th of a second behind Johann Zarco. Cannot seem to better the Frenchman. There's one Grand Prix win to his name in MotoGP, double Moto2 World Champion for Johann Zarco, bringing a lot of experience and knowledge to the Japanese bikes. Hard on the brakes into turn 4. A couple of riders ahead of us there. Maybe I could pick up a slipstream or a tow going into the final couple of corners. This is a good lap, this so far. 3/10 in that first split. Is this enough? We were briefly up by 4/10 then. What's the sector time going to show? I'm not going to be able to see it until I've passed this bit. Wow, we're still down by 3/10. And that was a really good sector as well. Oh, stop. Trying to avoid the wheelie again. Oh, Vinales has gone down. I don't know where he's gone. Oh, I can't turn. Oh my lord. I've completely ran off the circuit then. That would have lost at least 1/10 of a second for that. Oh, I'm off the circuit again. Oh, this has been a messy lap time, this has. How come they're not invalidating laps? I've done a time trial around here before, and it's done that, or even qualifying. Oh my god, it's this dreaded corner again. Don't touch the ape. Oh, we've nailed it. Well, this could be it. This could be that lap time I was desperately looking for. Hard on the brakes, keep it in tight. Wait for the power. Oh, that's way too early, isn't it? I should get my 150, but... Oh, it's close. Across the line. Oh, thank God we did it. It wasn't even a good lap time. Oh, there's Miguel Oliveira, so that answers that question. It was Raul Fernandez who's no longer going to be in the game. So there you are then, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. I will leave you now with the results on screen. I did a couple of laps I didn't record. Last one was a complete washout. I didn't bother in the end. I messed up in Sector 3 and just called it quits. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to go for Spec A if you were wondering. That definitely felt like the better bike to me. But guys, I'll see you very soon for round 1. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.